Welcome, Smite fan, to week number 4 of the Smite OPL. We are in the second half of week number 4. That means we are halfway through this split, Andy, and we are halfway to seeing which teams are going to be heading to the Split 3 regional finals for a spot at Worlds. Up today, we have got Royalty versus Legacy, and then we have the old rivalry, Avant versus Alpha Sydney. We already saw them play once in this split, and the result of that was a split. Have to see if either team can get the 2-0 today. But first, got Royalty versus Legacy. It looks like this one's going to be pretty one-sided, Alpha.
And Legacy started off the split a bit shaky, but have been on an upward trend consistently ever since week 2. Ever since they had that role swap between Ogre solo and Shred, moving Ogre back into the solo lane and Shred into the jungle, it's been a more consistent, better-looking Legacy. Royalty, they've started to blend as a team. They've started to learn from their mistakes in the OPL, but it's not been quick enough. And Legacy need to make sure that they take advantage of that to have a quick and easy 2-0 today.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and start picks and bans here in just a second. Royalty, they've got a new mid laner as well. Kozna has left the team, and they have Hazy in the mid lane for them. So we'll have to see how he can match up. You know, he's been the name that's kind of been around the scene this last year. You know, someone that's just pushing for OPL contention. And with Kozna stepping back, it seemed to be a natural fit for Royalty to go ahead and pick him up, put him in the mid lane. We'll have to see how he goes against one of the better mid laners in OCE in Agony. First picks and bans coming through here. We see Freya taken off the board by Royalty. Don't want HS to get his hands on that one. Legacy could look to target, ban pretty much anyone on this squad, and they're going to go after Royal Custard. Royal pretty much considered the best player on Royalty.
You can't give him Alkong as well. The 2 times which he has played Alkong, he's performed absolutely insanely on it. So look at Legacy to be taking that one away with a ban or picking it up themselves. I haven't seen Shred play too much. Alkong, he usually likes the more setup-oriented gods like your Najars. So I don't see him picking up the Alkong. The Radtasker's going to be taken away. Strange to see that. I haven't seen Royal Costa pick that one up too much. It's more of a Shred-style god, in my opinion. Royalty over to them. Fafnir is going to be the first pickup. I like this. With Raijin and Vulcan both being pretty much exactly the same in terms of pick priority, picking up a higher tier support at this point seems to be the best call.
I mean, you say Fafnir is a higher tier support, the numbers speak for themselves. He hasn't exactly had the best split here in the OPL. You know, he's had a fair number of picks, but his win percentage leaves, you know, a lot to be desired. Thor picked up here by Legacy. You know, again, something that is considered decently strong, but hasn't had too much success. With a lot of these higher tier junglers off the board, Thor is something Shred's looking to play here. But, you know, Fafnir, he's done okay in the OPL, but really, if you pick up a Fafnir, you need some more initiation off the back of it, because the Fafnir's just not going to do it for you. Janus and Ram now picked up here for Royalty, a couple of later game picks, but I like the Janus for a little bit of mobility on the side of Royalty, and it's something Hayes is a bit more comfortable with as well, and is looking to counter a bit of the semi-globalness that the Thor provides. Ged picked up here for Legacy, a natural fit for Weave, something that's a bit more supporty rather than aggressive in nature.
Well, going back to the Fafnir pick, it's more of a momentum-based support. If you can start to get the entire game going for your team, Fafnir becomes an unstoppable monster. If it gets to the point where you are behind and starting to struggle a bit, Fafnir really can do something to try and get your team back into it, but it becomes a lot more difficult for him to do his job effectively. There's the Alkong bang I wanted to see. I would like to have seen Royalty pick it up instead of the Rama, potentially. But c'est la vie. Raijin going to be taken away by a Royalty looking to try and make sure Agony doesn't get a comfortable god in the mid. They will expect a Vulcan ban coming out as well. Benria also taken off the table, so 4 junglers by Legacy. They are really focusing out Royal Custody.
There's not much left for him to be. I guess there's Nemesis and Naja, which he's both played before. Raven now banned away by Royalty just to take something that's very strong out of the solo lane. I definitely agree with what you said before with the training out the Alkong there for the Ram. You know, they've already got Legacy's already got the Jingwei. You know, there's not necessarily a priority to go ahead and for them to pick the Ram. You know, they have played Jingwei in the mid, and that's still a possibility here. But it's still an Alkog there, something that a Royal Cluster can carry with. Would have been a smarter choice, in my opinion. Erlang Shen being picked up here by Legacy, a very high. So you could take a look at the kind of the contrasting drafts between these two teams. You know, very high win percentages on the side of Legacy, not so much on the side of Royalty. Jing 10 seeing his first action here in the OPL. That one's going to be going towards the solo lane for Suspira, and the Naja pick up here for Royal Custard as well. Soul picked up now. So that could be a Soul mid lane or a Soul ADC. I believe we seen it more on Agony than we have on HS. But we've seen Jingwei more played by Agony than we have with HS. So we'll have to see where this one goes. We're going to head to game here in just a second and check out who's going to go where. But looking at the drafts here, we've got a lot of setup on the side of Royalty. We've got that Jing 10 for a lot of the initiation that I said the Fafnir was lacking, which can give Peel for this Janus and the Ram. So what they're looking to do is head to this kind of really late game stage where those two gods can carry. In terms of late game on the side of Legacy, you've basically got the Jing Wei, and the Soul does a lot in the late game as well. But if Royalty can get to the late game stage, I could see them really competing with Legacy.
Hey, Royalty's lineup, it's not something you usually see with the Jing 10 solo. I mean, we haven't even seen it in the OPL at all this split, but he has gotten a couple of buffs recently, especially to that Whirlwind of Rage and Steel, which makes it a lot easier to land and to use effectively. So we'll look at Suspiria to start rotating around the 10-15 minute mark to help Royalty out in these mid-game fights.
Legacy going straight for the left-hand side mid-tier, not even bothering to contest the right-hand side mid-camps against the Janus and Naja. I've actually noticed from Legacy a hesitation to go for these right-hand side mid-camps after the week 1 game against Team Pandemonium, where they got caught out there and put into an early deficit. Now they tend to like these left-hand side mid-camps a lot more in the early game.
Well, the reason that they got caught on those right side mid-half-beats that one time against Pandemonium is because they lost solo lane pressure, but against a Jing 10, an Olong Shen should be able to outclear him by himself, even if the jungler is there, even if Royal Custom was over in solo lane. The clear should still go the way of only good at solo, so they could have gone for those right side half-beats and secured themselves the Fire Elementals as well. Luckily for them, only good at solo got them for a solo experience, so should really be a level ahead of Suspiria.
We can see that difference right now. Suspiria's going for a Mark of the Vanguard here. I just give himself a little bit of extra tankiness here at the start of the game. We've got a Death Toll coming out from Only Good at Solo, so he's going to have a lot of damage on line here. And he could look to get some significant damage down onto Suspiria, who in the early stages doesn't have great clear on this Jing 10 and doesn't have much damage with that Mark of the Vanguard either. So Only Good at Solo, a very aggressive player, definitely be looking to try and either pick up a solo kill or force Suspiria back and to burn that TP.
Well, he's already forced him to burn 3 multi-potions, and it's not looking up for Suspiria right now as he goes aggressive once again, and Only Good at Solo just roots him in and uses his spot weakness to do a lot of damage with his basic attacks. Left-hand side, Shank and Thegoras doing what they can to clear up wave and keep pressure on HS247 and Weave, but looking at this dual lane to be the one to start things off for Royalty and make sure that they get a good part in this early game.
This is one of the only times we've seen Thegoras on a physical ADC. Usually we see him on things like the Freya, the Soul. Just, it's very, different to see him on a Ram. In the middle, we see a teleport force. No, not a teleport. A portal force out from Hazy, and only Shred's going to back. So I'm so used to seeing Only Good at Solo in the jungle there. Raw Custard leaping in there with the sash, and now he's taking up Shred into the sky. Shred taking a lot of damage here. Can Hazy get a kill at the back? Portal, but he misses the unstable vortex. Shred manages to get away. Agony doing so much damage to Hazy in the back there and gets the first blood onto Royalty. Airstrike to get himself out of dodge as well. So Legacy turn an initiation by Royalty to their advantage.
Hey, that was good play from Agony, not panicking, not trying to force Hazy 247, not trying to serve Hazy to just back off completely, just basic attacks him consistently, hits every single one, and make sure Hazy's low HP.
Left-hand side, Thegoras forced into his ultimate. Shank as well. He's missing all the snipes. He lands the last one onto Weave, but he takes so much damage. Knocked up into the Supernova as well. HS looking for the kill, but a good stun from Shank will keep Thegoras alive for now. But that is the ultimate's burned completely on the side of the duo lane. Cataclysm, Supernova, the Astral Barrage, and the Draconic Form all used as well. So a lot of aggression coming out of this duo lane, which we really expected when we looked at these partnerships.
I would have expected it to come out from Weave HS247 though, given the gods that they've selected, the Geb especially. Very good at playing defensively in the lane, going for surprise initiations with those Blink Cataclysms, but he didn't use the Blink Cataclysm there, he just walked up and used it there off. Caught Thegoras and Shang off guard and forced him into a very defensive position, which you don't want to be in as a Fafnir.
And he caught the Ram's rolling assault as well, caught the dash away, so Thegoras was forced to use his ultimate as well, and HS very patient, used that Supernova when he landed, but just didn't quite have enough damage to finish the job. Over on the right-hand side, just before, we saw Royal Custard forced to make a rotation to help Suspiria keep his blue buff alive, as Only Good at Solo was looking for an invade on that one. Shred's rotating over now, and I don't think Royalty's going to be able to contest this one. There isn't a Wrath online on the side of Legacy. Shred's got another few seconds to go on that one, but Suspiria just doesn't have the levels, doesn't have the damage to contest this one at all. Only Good at Solo gets it. Suspiria, with very low mana here, probably going to have to back very soon to hope to contest this wave at all.
I mean, one of the ways you can shut down a Shang Tsung solo is to take away his blue buff. He's very mana intensive in the lane because he has to use 2 or 3 abilities to be able to clear it early on. Once he gets a Furious Roar up to max level, then he can really just use that to clear, but it's still a lot of trouble for him in the early game. His mid lane, 4-man group because only got a solo makes a very early rotation. 5 minutes in, you don't expect the solo laner to be here, but they're going to go for the mid tower.
Yeah, and Royal Custer was forced out there. Just the kill was barely missed onto him there by Legacy. Shank now trying to defend this tower and actually doing so pretty successfully. Hazy gets a nice unstable vortex onto some minions as well to help clear it here, but a nice early rotation here from Legacy. And, you know, they're starting to... They used to be known as a team that was all about individual skill. Mechanically, they're one of the best teams in the OPL, but what they really lacked, and what we saw basically put on show at LAN, was lack of communication, lack of team direction here. And, you know, with this role swap and going into this new split, they said that this is one of the areas they needed to focus on, and there's something they're doing very well here.
And it's something which you can see is coming out in the amount of wards coming out as well. 5 wards already on the map from Legacy. 1 in the mid lane and 4 in this left side jungle, covering all access to the Gold Fury. So if Royalty try and sneak one, Legacy will know about it.
Taking a look at our builds here. So Hazy hasn't gone for an early Doom Orb, instead focused on the boots. And I really like this here. It gives him some early penetration and some early mobility to get away from the Jing Wei, from the Thor as well, both of which are fairly mobile gods. He could look to go for the Doom Orb next, or, you know, look for perhaps another stacking item. But I do like the boots first option on the Janus.
A lot of people have been saying that cooldown boots are back as being one of an items which you can look to pick up on him, and I certainly agree. Given that they have 40 power now, the 10% cooldown reduction, because Janus loved cooldown reduction. You see that with the fact that before, when it was 15% cooldown reduction, but Shred going aggressive onto the speed buff, they managed to steal it away, and we picked out one up. Royal Custer in a lot of trouble here.
Boss used the sash defensively there, takes one up the sky. Airstrike used by Agony as well. Shred is here as well. Shank trying to peel for his jungler. Suspiro throws 2 back into the damage of Shank. Weave's actually taken fairly low. Only got it solo though. Picks up Royal Custard. Weave might fall down here. Suspiro gets the kill. Hazy uses the unstable vortex but doesn't have enough mana for a portal. Double tap doesn't land, but a basic attack from Shred is enough. Only got it solo. Picks up a second kill onto Shank with the help from a timely rotation from HS247, who gets the supernova off. And now Legacy can look for this mid tier 1 tower that they were targeting before. And there's no one left from Royalty really to contest this one. Only Suspiro is here, but he doesn't have the clear at this stage. He's got the cooldown boots, so he's going to give him some mana. He's going to give him some cooldowns, but he's not going to have the damage to deal with Legacy.
They're going to walk in there. They're going to do a lot of damage to this tower with HS247 and Agony, 2 basic attack focus gods here. That tower falls down very quickly. 7 minutes, 30 seconds into the game, and already your tier 1 tower is down. There is nowhere for Hazy to hide anymore. He is just going to be a lamb to the slaughter, really, for Shred and Agony.
Well, the positive thing for Hazy is that he is a Janus, so he's got a lot of mobility, a lot of ways to quickly get around the map. So he can farm a wave, use his portals to get away, use his threshold to give him some extra movement speed. And if he really needs to, that through space and time ultimate is there for quick escapes in very dire situations. So, you know, not the worst situation for them, but of all the towers for Royalty to lose at this stage of the game, the mid tier 1 is certainly the worst.
It's the most important tier 1 on the entire map because it gives you so much objective control, able to defend the mid Harpies, the Gold Fury, the Fire Giant, all from one central base. And to have that taken away this early, Legacy have to be looking at a Gold Fury in the next 5 minutes to make sure that they really compound on the fact that they got this early tower.
Taking a look at Only Good at solo here, and he's picked up a Pestilence very early, and I actually really like this looking at a Royalty's team comp. While they don't have healing on this comp, they do have a lot of regeneration coming out from the Jing 10. You know, you've got the Flaming Spear coming out from Naja. You know, Fafnir as well has got a self-heal, so I do like this item pickup, and it's a lot of magical protection and health very early in the game, and it's going to make Only Good at solo very difficult to kill, especially on the side of Suspira. He's going to have a very tough time bullying Only Good at solo in this lane.
The one thing which it doesn't really provide is that much of maximum health. It only provides 200 HP. Which, its other magical items go on like the Bulwark. That gives you 450 HP. So it's sacrificing that for a bit more protection, a bit more utility on this item. And as an Olog Shen, you can sort of do that because your burst heal on your ultimate means that you can really tank up a lot more than people expect you to be tanking up.
At this stage of the game as well, he doesn't need to be worried too much about health. The magical damage is coming out of Hazy. Stage of the game is not huge. The other magical damage is coming out of Shank and Suspira, which again, not going to be great magical damage, but importantly with Suspira, it's a lot of dot damage, not a lot of burst damage as well. So he's going to be reducing that a whole lot, and he's not terribly worried about the damage coming out of the Shank's Fafnir.
Beat Buff Invade once again. Tread is going to be picking this one up this time. Ring Toss does a nice chunk of damage to Agony and Weave, but given that Naja is level 10 and Agony level 11, it's not doing too much. Left-hand side, sorry, the Goros and HS7 engaging in a little ADC boxing fight.
I would have really liked to see Thegoros go a bit more aggressive there. His wave was coming up. The Disapparate was down on HS247. Could have gone after him and done a little bit more damage. Right-hand side, Suspira tosses 2 into his tower, but it's a defensive ultimate here. Jumps away from damage from Shred. Only good at solo, takes a whole heap, but uses his ultimate to heal himself back up. Suspira nowhere to run. Shred picks up the kill with a basic attack under the tower. Shank and Hazy are here now. Hazy teleports through. He's looking for Shred. Minions are trapping Shred in. Shred's kiting as well as possible. Wrath comes down to stun him out, but Shred manages to get away with the Mjolnir's attunement. Royal Custard's there, but he's taken up. Only good at solo. The snipe from Hazy takes one out. Agony gets a double kill there with the airstrike. He's a draconic form from Shank. Only good at solo, needs to run away here, but Shank forced to jump away defensively. So a nice little a nice little 3-piece there for Legacy, trading out one of their own for 3 of Royalty.
And left-hand side, the ADC battle continues, and this time both of them are going at it. Thegoros losing those HS7 lines, a nice second ability, and down goes the Supernova, forcing the roll away from Thegoros. HS7 clearly winning this lane at this moment in time.
And you'd expect to with a Soul at this stage in the game. She's got online Shoes of the Magi, she's got Dynasty Helm, so she's going to be feeling pretty safe to box against this Ram. She's also got a Soul Stone online as well for a lot of extra magical power. The Ram, he's gone a very slow start here. He's gone Warrior Tarbai and Devoure's Gauntlet. So, you know, when those are fully stacked, it's going to give him a lot of lifesteal and a lot of power. But at the moment, not even a third stack yet. It's not going to be a great matchup for him at this point in time.
Yeah, this is the one time where HS247 can really effectively box out this Ram. But the second, he's got about 50 stacks on this Devoure's Gauntlets and starts to build up into his third item, which should be an Executioner. It's going to be a lot more difficult for HS247 as the basic attacks from Rama will really start to chunk Gold Fury. Going to be looked at here by Royalty, but the Weave is going to be nearby, so no chance of Royalty sneaking that one away.
This is very interesting from Shred. He's got himself a Shifter Shield here, and it looks like he's going to go into that Void Shield next as well. I very much doubt it's going to be a Shield regrowth here, but the Shifter Shield not being picked up. Thegoros walled off there, but it also walls off Weave, forced to go up into the Astral Barrage. Here comes the ultimate from Hazy, and this could save the life of Thegoros. Royal Custard sashes into Shred. Great Stone Shield there for Weave, and up into the sky goes Shred. He comes straight back down. They're looking for Hazy now. He's got no escape. Spin to win. Picks up the kill. Royal Custard stuck in between a whole lot. Shank tries to stun, but it doesn't land. Agony picks up Royal Custard. Shank nowhere to run. Agony with a double kill. Legacy running away with this game. 12.5 minutes in, we see an 8,400 experience lead, 4,000 on the dot gold lead, and Gold Fury being started up short to give them a bit more of an advantage in this one. Royalty seeming to be out of answers to where Legacy's aggression is concerned.
You'd have expected Legacy to be a bit further ahead at this stage of the game, given how much domination they've had over the map, but it's only been 13 minutes into the game. It's a nice, healthy lead at this stage, just over that 5,000 gold mark. They can look to try and snowball this right now. As only going to solo HS247 on this left-hand side. They could look for this tier 1 tower and force Thegoros and force Suspira away even deeper towards their own base.
And what I like as well is that Agony's pushing a wave in mid, so it's forcing Royalty to commit to one tower or the other. If they see that they're pushing a heavy commit to this left-hand side tier 1, Agony should be able to push the tier 2 in the mid. We can see Thegoros take it very low, only got a solo 9 turns blessing. Thegoros forced to use the purification, and it's going to be down for this next little bit, so Legacy know that they can engage with Thegoros, and he doesn't have much left to cleanse in his CC. Ultimate comes up in a bit, but HS picks up the first kill here on to Hazy. Suspira about to fall down in a second, and there is the dishwasher. Oh my goodness, he's dead so quickly. I can't even think. There is the washing machine ultimate, and he's just gone, man. Like, he's just gone. Royalty is just gone.
Well, it's the washing machine of doom. It could be the dishwasher of peril now. How's about that?
Dishwasher of peril. What was the other one? The green pack of excellence and hair of doom.
Yeah, there's so many different names for it because Whirlwind of Rage and Steel is such a long-winded ultimate. They've got both towers on this left-hand side. Shred wasn't even part of that fight. He was split pushing this right-hand side. He's got 2 towers over there as well. Just the mid-tier 2 stands. And Legacy going from 4,000 gold in the lead to 10,000 in the blink of an eye.
I don't have words. It's just all falling apart from Royalty. Like, they have probably a slightly better late game team composition, but you know, similar to what we saw with Corvidae and Avant yesterday, they're just leaving it too late. They're letting Legacy build up too much of a lead. Earlier in the game, we saw them be very proactive with these ganks, but, lately they've really forced to been reactive against what Legacy's been doing. And, unfortunately, it's just getting to the stage where they can't even force fights anymore. They just have to try and defend what they can, but it's really not happening.
Well, they're now at that 10,000 gold threshold, which means that Royalty, in order to come back into this game, they have to win 2 or 3 team fights outright before they're considered back even in gold. They have to rely on Legacy making a mistake in that first fight that they win. And Legacy so far haven't looked like they've made too many mistakes. They've made a couple of minor misplays, but it's just not been punished by Royalty whatsoever.
And all the towers, importantly, are standing for Legacy here, so they've got a lot of control over the map on their side of the board. So, even if Royalty win a team fight or two, it's going to take them a long time to be able to push up into any kind of significant territory on the Chaos side of the map.
247 pushing up against Thegoras. There's no tier 2 tower in this lane, just making sure that Thegoras doesn't get too comfortable in this lane and start to build up a head of steam. You got to keep your opponents in check, and that's what Shred is doing right now. Rollercoaster receiving a double tap just there in the left-hand side, but he's gone into the wing blade after the Youngs rather to give himself a bit of help against the slows coming out from HS247 especially.
The Shred's gone the Void Shield here after the Shifter's Shield. I don't know if the Shifter's was a mistake and he decided I'll just go into the Void Shield afterwards, but now we see him going for the Titans. I mean, he hasn't gone for any cooldown here. We usually see a Jotun's Wrath come out on Thor to give him, extra Mjolnir User Achievements, extra spin to win, and just a faster ultimate, but he's gone for a very protection/damage composition, a very hybrid composition here.
Agony boxing out Thegoras on his left-hand side, taken solo, not missing any basic attack there was Agony, and he gets the kill. Thegoras goes down, and now a 5 versus 4, couldn't gauge out, but it's going to be a 4 versus 2 in the mid lane, as Royal Custard taking low reinforcements on a right for Royalty. Suspira and Hazy get involved in the action, but mid-tier 2 is going to fall down as well. No more towers, just Phoenix is left for Legacy to take down as Shred goes up into the air.
Looking to come down here. Who does he go on? It's Royal Custard, who manages to get himself away. Supernova there as well. Suspira uses that Dishwasher of Doom ultimate. Agony picks up Suspira here. Hazy can't even get to his portal, but barely manages to use his Sanctuary to get himself away from the enemy. Shank defending desperately here, but forced to jump away. Royal Custard back from the fountain, tosses out the ring, but doesn't manage to catch anyone. All 5 members of Legacy are up here. Thegoras just about to respawn for Royalty, but it's not going to be enough to stop the unstoppable green tide that is Legacy. Nice damage coming out from Hazy, but Royal Custard feels it from Agony here and falls down. Only good at solo, chasing away the damage that is Hazy. Middle Phoenix falls down. Legacy back away. A successful foray into Royalty's side of the map.
1 Phoenix down, 2 to go. I don't think they even need to get these next 2 Phoenixes. They can probably walk in, win a fight underneath the Titan, and then take the Titan. That's how far ahead Legacy are right now, and that's how good their team play has been this game. Just coordination, comboing abilities, relying on rotations from each other, not panicking whatsoever. It's been absolute joy to watch. A Royalty have had 0 answers for this.
Agony is 8-5, part of 13 of the 15 kills on the map. Excellent participation there from the mid laner. It's very much what Legacy like to do. They like to base a lot of their damage and aggression around their mid laner here because they know that their side lanes can win. They know that their side lanes are probably going to win any matchup they're up against. Hazy forced to use his Purification and just his ultimate there, but that is a big ultimate down on the side of Royalty. And look at this, HS247 left-hand side trying to fight Thegoras here. He's 3 levels up. HS has taken a lot of poke and is not landing his basic attacks. Forced to use the Disapparate. Thegoras successfully chases off the soul, but now HS wants back in. No, he's going to back away. Fire Giant appears to be the call from Legacy here.
Yeah, I would have liked Thegoras to have gone into an execution. Had Royalty managed to stay within reach of Legacy. But he's been forced to go into the stick pile because it's a cheap, cheerful item that gives a lot of utility. And Agony is starting to become a real factor for him. Fire Giant started up by Legacy. Suspira teleporting into the back. I don't know if he has any chance of stealing this unless he has to have Shank is here as well. Legacy do destroy it because they're the ones with Wrath, and they're just going to clean up here. Shank already taken very low. Only going to solo, going to chase him out. And Suspira, the Washing Machine of Destiny, just does not do anything for him as the rest of the members of Legacy go ahead and try and take him down as Hazy falls down to Shred.
Yeah, Shred in the mid lane picks up one. Only good at solo. Has a Royal Custard running away from the rolling boulder that is Weave. Thegoras in the mid lane, hiding behind a wall here, just desperately waiting for his teammates to come back up because he knows that him and Royal Custard, they have got no answers for what Legacy is bringing right now, which is 5 members with a Fire Giant, 5 members looking for blood. Agony has got 3,000 gold in hand. He hasn't backed since the last Phoenix push here, but he's got so much damage here in this game. He's got 11k damage. HS has got 13. Only got a solo 13. Legacy just absolutely abusing Royalty at this stage, and now they're looking to push in towards the Titan. Agony doing some damage as the right-hand side Phoenix falls. Looking for the left-hand side one. Weave flicks in, gets the Cataclysm onto Royal Custard, who burns his Purification, but Legacy turn their sights immediately to the left-hand side Phoenix, and just as suddenly as they attack it, it falls down. Thegoris hit by the pin. Airstrike comes through as well. Up into the sky goes Thegoris, looking to get some snipes down, but he doesn't have the damage. He falls back down and now heads back towards his Fountain Shank in the Draconic form, but there's nothing Royalty can do here. Legacy gonna back by, and then this will be the end for Royalty.
Yeah, there's all 3 Phoenixes down. You don't see too many comebacks from this point in the game, especially when you are over 15,000 gold behind. In fact, right now it reads 16,200 gold behind, 22,000 experience. It's looking pretty dire for Royalty. Do you surrender this game? That's the question. Do you say, this one, we'll learn from the mistakes, we'll draft differently, we'll play it differently, but we need to get out of this one and just focus on the next game?
I mean, you could. They're in two minds about it, especially with these best of twos. You know, you've got a second game to play. You know, it's definitely an option that you're considering, but, you know, you learn a lot from a loss, just like you learn from any game you play, but you learn more from a loss than from a win. So, you know, they could look here and look to just try, you know, look for next game. What's Legacy going to do at this point of the game? And, you know, they can see where are they going to choose to aggress, and they can put that down in their notepads and lock it away for next time.
There's two traits of thought to it, as you said. I mean, in the Challenger Cup, you can go ahead and do whatever you want. You can win or you can lose. But if you're playing in the OPL, you win or you learn. That is the key thing. If you don't learn from your mistakes, if you don't learn from your losses, you're going to feel the pain of Shred as he lands and just obliterates everyone there. 3 people taken out of the blink of an eye, and this should be the game.
That was a 4-man ult there. 4 members unable to do anything as Legacy come crashing in. The Titan falls down very quickly there. Dominating victory from Legacy OCE. 21-2 the final score there. But more importantly, Legacy getting their form back. This is the Legacy we knew from last that took it to every single team and will first seed into the LAN. Let's see if they can continue it in game number 2. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.